Coming up on WTV8 News, a Wartburg freshman brings an extreme sport to campus.
Plus, inside a college food bank, one Midwest college is preventing hunger on campus.
And in sports, it was the University of Dubuque's homecoming last Saturday. Unfortunately for the Spartans, they had to face the Knights football team. All the highlights in sports, your WTV8 News starts now.
Covering your campus, your community, and your world. From the McElroy Communication Arts Center in the Grant Price Studio, this is WTV8 News.
It's okay to sing. That's the message hundreds of middle school and high school students from Iowa and Minnesota received when they visited Wartburg this past weekend.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle Pomolia.
And I'm John Householder. Nearly 500 students were on campus as part of a special men's choir festival.
It's called the Real Men Sing Choir Festival, and this is the second year Wartburg has hosted the event. WTV8's Ben Hoppenworth shows us the sights and sounds of an event that shows young men it's cool to sing.
Real men sing. That's a lot of testosterone. That's pretty good. Now, say
I did a festival 3 years ago which was called Real Men Sing up in central Minnesota, and they brought in 200 guys from really small towns in Minnesota to do a one-day kind of high-impact festival, and I thought what a great idea for us here in Iowa. It's a really exciting event. We started it last year. About 150 7th grade through 12th grade guys attending, and it's just exploded this year.
There's about 450 people involved in singing here. Have a couple songs here, a couple songs there, but it's just to give them that experience of singing, in a choir of 450 men.
One of the features of the festival is to bring in a group that is kind of exemplary of good male singing. Last year we had a small group called Impulse, which was a kind of a boy band. They do a lot of pop music. They taught the guys how to do beatbox and things like that. This year it's a much different group. To bring countries in is a huge deal. They're one of the world's most renowned men's ensembles. There's basically 3 famous men's ensembles in the world right now, and Countries is one of them. There's a need in central Iowa, and I think across the nation, to get men singing, to kind of break the stereotype that guys singing isn't a cool thing to do.
It's real men sing, and that's what we're trying to show. We're trying to show these kids that they can sing, and singing can be cool. It can be cool to be in a guy's choir, especially a choir like Ritter Choir, because we have fun and we goof off and we play around, but then we make awesome music, and that's the part that kids, in high school especially, they have to fight that stigma. Well, I'm in choir, so I'm not cool. I can't do sports in choir. I can't do this in choir. We try and show you that it's a-okay to do it, to do it all.
Students who attend the festival also had the opportunity to attend a master's class with members of the performing group Contus. The Real Men Sing Choir Festival attracted students from 40 middle and high schools throughout Iowa and Minnesota.
In the evening, you can find Wartburg night callers working the phone lines in the basement of Founders Hall, calling alumni, parents, and friends of Wartburg, asking for donations for the annual fund. This year, Night Callers is having a huge success, raising over $201,000, up from $38,000 this time last year. Wartburg Director of Development Don Meyer credits the success to the experience of the Night Callers.
One of the biggest reasons that we see is we have so many returning callers this year who came back to help again after calling last year.
Over the summer, Wartburg's Marketing and Communications Department changed the tri-weekly newsletter from The Page to The Juice. However, the initial student response hasn't been favorable. Complaints have ranged from broken news links to drawn-out headlines. Director of News and Community Relations Saul Shapiro says that the Juice is coming together slowly, and hopefully some extra help will alleviate some of the workload.
The Juice right now is taking me on average of about 12 hours a week. So I would rather see the Juice be shortened but it serves a purpose. We'll get it refined. Hopefully it'll take me less time. Some of the student workers in this office will be doing more with the juice as soon as we get the combination of things that work down.
Shapiro's #1 objective to fixing the juice is to make the items shorter and to drive people to the information center. If you have a campus announcement to put in the juice, email juice@wartburg.edu.
A European-born activity has made its way to Wartburg. Parkour, or free running as it's also known, is now on campus thanks to Josh McCall, a first-year student. Originally from Cedar Rapids, McCall says he started doing parkour after he saw YouTube videos of the sport. Parkour was originally created in France and has a large community in France and other European countries. Despite Iowa's flat geography, McCall has been able to find spots to practice on Wartburg without much problem. He also trains at Blackhawk Gymnastics in Cedar Falls. McCall says the most difficult aspect of parkour is transferring the training in the gym to the concrete outside.
The hardest part is building up your confidence in your own abilities, like being able to go out there and just do something without thinking about it is a skill that it's a skill that you have to build up through repetition.
Despite the dangerous nature of parkour, McCall has never had a serious injury, and he credits that fact to his realistic assessment of his own abilities. For the whole story on McCall, tune into Sports Tonight tomorrow night at 8 right here on Channel 8.
Coming up on WTV8 News, a day in the life of a Wartburg staff member who helps the college run like clockwork.
Plus, fighting hunger on campus. Meet the students behind this campus-run food bank. WTV8's news continues after the break. On campus lately, you may have noticed a rise in school spirit. Today starts homecoming week, and the campus has put this year's theme of Got Orange into action.
The week will kick off on Thursday with Castle Caper's coronation and pep rally with a following wing feed at Joe's Nighthawk. Then on Friday, the fun continues with a coronation ceremony and a Castle Caper's encore. Saturday's activities will start early with the night run walk, followed by a parade and Renaissance fair. The big game against Simpson will start at 1:30 Saturday, followed by Oktoberfest on the college lawn. Last but not least is the homecoming worship Sunday morning at 10 a.m.
And it seems everyone is busy during homecoming, and a lot of people are planning all kinds of events. However, for one faculty member, this is all a part of a daily routine. If you attend a Wartburg College event, you may not think about all the work that goes into its planning. For one Wartburg faculty member, this is all a part of a day's work.
College, this is Jean.
In her third year on the Wartburg faculty, Jean Buckingham spends her days organizing various events as the college events and scheduling coordinator.
So is it you, me, Janine, and...
I schedule major institutional events and meeting rooms all over campus. I do all the scheduling of Newman and the Lyceum, but it has to be in a very cooperative way.
All of Jean's hard work seems to show results, and some of her fellow co-workers give positive feedback about her different planning skills.
In my case, I go to her on a regular routine basis for cabinet meetings, for committee meetings, for Board of Regents meetings. She's critical to that planning process for me.
Buckingham obtained her full-time position on the Wartburg faculty after spending 25 years as a volunteer and stay-at-home mother to her 3 children. Chris, her youngest, is currently a student on campus.
The poor kid, I started working full-time his first day of classes as a first year. And in that entire year, I saw him one time in the Skywalks. I kind of wanted to have him have his own place. I didn't want to interfere. And then he got more comfortable with it, and his friends got comfortable with me, and so then now it's not a big deal.
I enjoy having her around. It's always useful to go talk to her throughout the day. Every once in a while I use her to help me print stuff if I need to do stuff, and maybe send stuff to the print shop. It's nice having her there. Chris's roommates also enjoy having Jean around the school, as she kindly takes the time to prepare a homemade meal for them once a week.
So, this one's ham, this is vegetarian.
It's really nice, you know, it's like home away from home. I can show up here. I haven't gotten to Laundry Point yet with Mama Buck, but it's okay. Oh, my favorite meal would have to be brunch that we just had. It was delicious.
I try to do a little healthy. Usually some strawberries because Justin Kinseth eats them all, right, Justin Kinseth? Woo! Woo! Yeah.
Jean Buckingham has a big impact in scheduling events at Wartburg. However, she still marks in time for her son Chris and his roommates and has a big impact in their lives. Reporting for WTV8 News, I'm John Householder. Gene also plays a big part in helping plan other Wartburg events, one of those being Outfly. Coming up, we'll show you how students at one college are making sure no one goes hungry.
And flu season is here, but we'll show you an easy way to avoid catching the flu bug.
Welcome back to WTV8 News. The battle between food and fun is over at one college in Wisconsin.
Students at the University of Wisconsin at Stevens Point are coming together and preventing hunger on campus.
Ramen noodles and peanut butter sandwiches. With the rising cost of college, some students say it's about all they can afford.
It kind of gets hard to have to, decide, do I want to do something fun tonight or do I want to be able to have groceries for the week?
A group of students at UW Stevens Point decided to try to end the battle between food and fun. Now students in need can get canned food.
So we wanted to make it, so that students didn't have to jump through hoops, but that, there was kind of an order with it as well.
Student leaders started collecting non-perishable food and toiletries earlier this year. Now they're giving it all away and hoping students won't take advantage of the free food.
We're just trusting that if they're here, they need it. That's really all we ask. If they need it, that's what we're here for.
A similar program in La Crosse started a few years ago. Group leaders say they gave food to more than 300 students this past spring, a number they've seen go up during the past few years. Helping freshmen as much as seniors, organizers say students across the board seem to take the program seriously, instead of just as a quick snack. An attitude Pointer leaders say they hope to see here too.
There's definitely a lot of months that I cut it kind of close on my budget, so having this here is really great, and I think it's a good thing for a lot of people to have, including myself.
It has been a lot of work, and a lot of meetings and telling people about it and getting the word out, but now that it's open, I'm so excited and can't wait to see what it turns into.
The idea of college food banks is becoming more popular around the country. Iowa State University has a similar food bank for students called The Shop.
Flu season is near, and Wartburg faculty members lined up last week to prevent this seasonal illness. The shots were available for all faculty and staff. According to the Center for Disease Control, flu season starts in October and can last into May. It can take nearly 2 weeks for the flu vaccine to take effect. Pharmacist Sarah Sanderson says preventing the flu is easy.
Well, influenza is a very preventable disease. Annual flu shot or the flu mist, anything like that can help prevent serious complications.
Students can get their flu shots this coming Tuesday and Wednesday. They'll be available in the McCoy East room from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Tuesday and noon to 2:30 on Thursday. The cost is $28 and can be charged to your student account. A few weeks ago, we introduced you to 4 freshmen determined to keep off the pounds and avoid the freshman 15. To see just what our freshmen are eating, we gave each freshman the opportunity to track their eating habits for a day with a video camera. To be sure to tune in next week as we put their meals to the test.
This is the first time I'm actually eating Mensa. This is what I'm eating right now.
Boom. Lunch part 2.
Here we go. Here's my breakfast.
We will also check in with a health expert on how to make correct decisions in the Mensa. And now we'll check in with Shelby for a preview of what's next in sports.
Coming up in sports, the cross-country teams hit the home trail for the Dan Houston Invitational, and the football team headed to Dubuque. Stay tuned. Welcome back to WTV8 News. The Wartburg cross-country teams hosted the annual Dan Houston Invitational this past weekend. WTV8's Andrew Bridgewater went out to the Max cross-country course, so let's see how the Knights finished.
The women started off the Dan Houston Invitational with the 6,000-meter race. Anna Buenke from Nyack took the early lead with a group of 4, including Wartburg's Emily Eimers and Sam Barrett, right behind her. At the halfway point, Buenke was still in the lead, but Eimers had closed the gap. Heading into the last 1,000 meters, Eimers had caught Buenke. Down the stretch, it was Eimers who would have the better finishing kick, winning the race with a time of 22 minutes and 53 seconds.
It was awesome. A lot of people told me to go out and try to defend it, so I really wanted to do that. And I just wanted to try to go out and obviously doing big and go out and see what we can do and run to win just like any other day.
In the team race, Wartburg won with 69 points. The Knights placed their top 5 runners all within the top 30. On the men's side, after the first kilometer, it was all Augustana as they held the first 7 positions. But on the back side of the course, Ryan Edwardson of Simpson College worked his way up to the front, and he would never give up that lead, winning by 40 seconds with a time of 25 minutes and 35 seconds. Wartburg's top finisher was Grant Mosier. He finished in 4th place with a time of 26 minutes and 18 seconds.
I was just trying the whole race, just trying to keep it underneath the red line, you know. Because I didn't want to exhaust myself, and I don't know, I saw the front the whole time, and unfortunately Evertson just took off, and he's looking really dominant, but I don't know, later in the season I'll try to get him.
In the team race, Loris won with 63 points, followed by Augustana with 72 points. Thanks to 5 Knights placing within the top 30, Wartburg ended up 3rd in the team standings with 83 points.
The Orange and Black return to the field this Saturday at the UW Lacrosse Invitational. Let's move now to the Gridiron, where the Knights headed to Dubuque for a chance to claim the driver's seat in the conference race and spoil Spartan homecoming. The Knights came out pumped up in this one, looking to spoil the Spartans' homecoming.
Let's go, D!
On Dubuque's first drive,
Balding going up the middle, and the ball knocked out of his hands. Wartburg recovers the fumble.
with just over 2 minutes left in the first quarter, Wyatt Hannes' pass to Miles Hookstead is good for a UD touchdown. Knights trail by 7 going into the second quarter. After a failed 4th and goal attempt by the Spartans, Danny Stiefel hands it off to Connor Dahlstrom, and he's going to light up Dubuque, rushing for 83 yards. That will set up the scoring opportunity for the Knights as Stiefel finds a wide open Levi Helbling, game tied at 7.
Let's go, Wartburg!
Helbling then connects with Stiefel's 18-yard pass, and that leads to a 17-yard touchdown pass to Kurt Ruska, putting the good guys up 14-7 with 4 seconds left before halftime.
But hey, that's no reason to let up. We're going to get the ball in the second half, and I expect the same thing to happen. Yeah.
It didn't take UD long to find the end zone in the third quarter as
Aaron into the corner, looking for Sweefall, falling backwards, makes the catch.
With the game tied at 14, Stiefel launches the ball to Ruska for 43 yards, and to cap the drive off, Stiefel finds Helbling for the touchdown. Orange and Black lead 21-14. The Spartans then take the lead as the untouchable Spalding tears through the Wartburg defense, and Garrett McGrain cannot catch him. 28-21 Dubuque at the end of the third. 5 seconds into the fourth, Dahlstrom pushes his way into the end zone, tying the game back up at 28. Brandon Sims, who has only played 2 games this season due to an injury, totes the rock across the line here, 35-28 Wartburg. The back and forth scoring continues when Hannes' pass is complete to Zwiefel for 34 yards. Luckily, the Spartans just got a field goal out of that drive, 35-31 Orange and Black. And after a 68-yard touchdown run by Dahlstrom, putting the Knights up by 11, the pesky Spartans found the end zone one more time, but Wartburg was able to hold on and beat the previously unbeaten University of Dubuque by a final score of 42-39. 4 yards of offense. Dahlstrom had a career-high day as he finished with 225 yards and 2 touchdowns. The next test for the Gridiron Gang will be this Saturday against the Storm of Simpson for the homecoming game. Now the football players are requesting an orange out, so if you're heading to the game, make sure you represent in orange Wartburg gear. Kickoff is set for 1:30 p.m.
You know, Shelby, watching that game and looking at the box score afterwards, I noticed that Dubuque had 591 yards of offense, and that's a whole heck of a lot of offense. How was Wartburg able to win just despite giving up that many yards?
Well, Wartburg also had over 400 yards of offense themselves. You know, Wartburg stopped them 5 times on 4th down attempts, so that's huge.
Yeah, and the Knights have the Simpson Storm this upcoming week. What are your predictions on that game?
Simpson's 2-4. They put up a tough game against Coe, and obviously we lost to Coe, but I think it's huge momentum that we beat Dubuque. I think we're going to use that. It's homecoming. It'll be a good game. I'm going to go in favor of the Knights.
And what other sports should we look forward to this week?
There's not much going on. Volleyball's at home Wednesday, 7:30 against Simpson, and soccer is away at University of Dubuque on Saturday. So.
Thanks, Shelby. And coming up, find out if money problems will force one of America's favorite television families to have its final season.
And we all know what happens if you give a moose a muffin. But what happens when your moose takes the swimming pool? We'll show you after the break.
Springfield is sticking around on television. The Simpsons and Fox Television have agreed to extend the animated series into a 24th and 25th season. The show's producers and voice actors asked for a smaller pay cut than the network originally wanted. The Simpsons is the longest-running scripted show in TV history and is now scheduled to air 559 episodes.
It isn't what you expect to find in your swimming pool. Take a look at this video. This moose taking an evening dip sure came as a shock to the homeowner in Manchester, New Hampshire Friday night. Police, firefighters, and fish and game officials were eventually able to pull the animal out of the water. The moose was agitated but appeared to be unharmed once they got him out. He was last seen walking back into the woods. It is moose breeding season right now, so it is common to see animals wandering into unfamiliar places.
Some Wartburg students had a unique volunteer opportunity last week. ABC's Extreme Home Makeover decided to rebuild a home for a worthy family in West Union, Iowa. They asked Wartburg students to help. Students did various jobs from helping with construction to show production. The home is going to Audrey Gibbs, a legally blind widower supporting her 6 children. The Gibbs family moved into their new and improved home yesterday.
So, what are your plans for homecoming now that it's homecoming week?
I'm planning on going to the football game. I think it's going to be a real good test for the Knights. Simpson has that 2-4 record, but I think they're better than their record indicates, and the football game on homecoming is always a good time. How about you?
Well, I'm going to be going to the football game myself, but I'm really looking forward to Castle Capers. That's always a good time. A lot of really good musical talents, but it's hilarious at the same time. I can't wait to go and see what Riddercore has to do.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.